Hello everyone, welcome back. This video is about the topic of I am drowning in debt to live the perfect life. How can I fix it? Well, I'm going to explain to you right now how to fix it. It's terrible that you got yourself into this situation, and I think we're going to have to unwind a lot of things, and this is how we're going to get it back. But it's actually like a common thing that this happens to a lot of people. I mean, tons of people buy like cars or boats, houses, extravagant things, thinking that the money will just keep like blasting or something of the sort, or they've even started out stretching their stuff to kind of prove to the world or show people they made it. And it's really not worth it. So it sounds like you obviously are experiencing a lot of unhappiness and pain, which is great because that's the biggest motivator of all to enact change, to change your life. So that's actually a good thing. It's a good thing that you're feeling that, and rather than going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and making your situation even worse. So the interesting thing is that, especially if it's like material items, the reason why you're experiencing like all this debt is you buying up a lot of things. They don't really make you happy. You know, we think like a lot of materialistic items are going to make you happy, but really, I mean, some of the things are nice. Like, I mean, this microphone is nice. I bought it, you know, and the camera's good. And so some of the stuff in here is good. It's all high quality, but I didn't like borrow money to buy it. Everything here is like, I paid for it. I had the money. I didn't use credit. And I do have extra money on the side. So, you know, buying high quality items is different, because if you buy high quality items that don't break, then it's a good investment. So it really depends on what you're investing your money in. So, you know, like exotic cars that you can't afford, it's not a good idea. Houses that are way too big and the payments like way too big, or just other stuff. I mean, honestly, I'll tell you one thing. This actually is a big money liability. I'll tell you what, some girls are a big money liability out there. Not every girl, but like, you know, when you get, let's say with girls, or, you know, there's kind of, you kind of pay for things as a guy a lot. And depending on the girl, what kind of lifestyle she expects, you know, you might have to move on from that girl. You know, you might have picked the wrong girl. And, you know, maybe if you got too into her, you know, you might have to get away from the girl. So that's one thing other than materialistic items. You know, there's girls that could be a big money liability that could get you into debt possibly. And I met a ton of them, you know, in town. I live in San Diego, so a bunch of attractive girls, and you know, some of them can get you definitely can definitely get you to spend money you don't want to spend, or at least you think you need to spend money, but you don't really need to spend as much as you think. The first thing I do is I'd probably, the thing is it kind of becomes a habit of when you like cancel things, and so just like little things like the other day, honestly, I canceled Netflix. It was like $8 a month. Did I really need to cancel it? No, I didn't really watch it that much. I had Amazon stream as well already, and I just didn't really watch it that much. So just canceling that little teeny thing at a time. Then I canceled another little teeny subscription at a time. And then on my business, I'm like, okay, well, let's look at all of our subscriptions that, you know, maybe we don't use. And so I just started canceling. And it does add up, you know, like $500 a year here, $300 a year there. Then you get a couple $1,000, and it adds up. And all of a sudden, you know, you're cutting costs of things you didn't need and freeing up your time. So I would just say start small, start canceling things you don't really need, subscriptions specifically. And you're gonna have to look into your history about what's automatically billed, because sometimes, you know, we forget it. And it's interesting, you know, that we would get into the situations like, I think it's like childhood dreams that make us get into like these things that get us into debt. I feel like we were like brainwashed as kids, like literally we were brainwashed as kids, you know. Why do we want some of the things? Like, why do we want these unbelievably extravagant large houses? I mean, the debt burdens on these things are insane. And you can even see like what happens with all these guys like Mike Tyson or Holyfield. They buy these crazy houses, and of course they're not like super financially literate. And then they go bust because they don't realize the extremity of the property tax. So my place is probably, let's say $1 million place at a 1% rate, or no, $1.5 million place at a 1% rate, tax rate a year. I mean, you're paying like $8,000 every 6 months just for the property tax on the side. So that's two $8,000 payments a year. So you got to know, even if you buy a place, you gotta be prepared for that property tax payment as well. And if you're renting a place, renting a place is kind of okay, but you can't really write that off, and you can never really get as good of a place as you could get if you buy a place. So you got to do the math on that one. But yeah, for the most part, you just gotta literally take a list. If you're really trying to get out of this situation, you just write down all your liabilities that are creating all this pain and getting you into debt, because that's really what you have to start doing at first. You have to reduce the expenses. And if it's girls, if it's a particular girl, you gotta at least put it down on the list and really kind of put in your mind like, oh, I might have to get away from this one. She's making me spend too much more. I at least gotta tell her, hey, I'm not in the best situation right now. I gotta stop spending money. Number 2, automatic subscriptions. Add them all up and just remove every single thing that you can. If you're going out to eat at like fine dining restaurants like all the time, it's not only a waste of time sometimes, but can add up. I find like getting food from like Trader Joe's pretty cheap. The food's okay and it's fresh. So actually I get a lot of food delivered from Trader Joe's. I got this delivery person actually that delivers it. Kind of hard to find a person who will deliver on Trader Joe's, or from Trader Joe's, but definitely saves time. Food's good. It's not too costly. So I don't really spend that much money. What did I spend? I'm like $1,000 a month on groceries. But cool thing is I don't really have to go to the store that much. Like going to the store is the worst thing. So, but anyway, I would definitely say eat more at home and don't blow your money as much. Yeah, there's so many different things you can spend your money on. You can spend your money on like clothes, travel, cars, so many different things you could spend your events. You just have to write down, you just have to literally look at your bank statement and just literally look down at all your expenses and just reduce your expenses as much as possible. Because that's really what's putting you in the worst situation. Things that have like high payments. It's kind of hard to get away from things that are like really nice because your identity kind of gets absorbed with it. I distinctly remember like when I sold my Ferrari too, like it was kind of hard to sell it because, people are used to seeing me in a Ferrari. I'm like, oh man, my image is not going to be as nice. But really, I think it was just because I didn't lack as much confidence as I think I have now. And I thought like this item is like would enhance my appearance. And not saying it didn't enhance my appearance, but I feel like I'm already a badass already without it. So I feel like you kind of have to like look deep down within to, wonder why you need these materialistic items to feel good enough to where you're going to put yourself in such a bad situation to where, you're miserable and, like you said, you're in a lot of debt and you're not happy. And also one thing that also, I don't know if if this pertains to you, this is just one of my thoughts. Drinking alcohol, a lot of alcohol, whenever at least I drink or drink and have had a lot of alcohol, definitely I've noticed that I've spent more. So maybe look at your drinking habits, because a lot of money is actually spent from alcohol, going out, buying alcohol for people, buying your drinks, what you do after you've been having drinks. You're definitely more prone to spending more money on like just a bunch of stuff. Uber gets a lot of money too. I remember there was this one girl that literally said who didn't pay for anything. She's like, the only thing that gets my money is Uber. Uber was the only thing that got her to pay money, or else guys paid for everything of hers. So these are just my thoughts. It's just not worth it to go way deep down into debt to get things, to try to impress people that you don't really care about in the first place, but you really care about what they think about you. But it's just not worth it in the end. It's much better to just be in fit. The feeling of like running mountains in the heat and working out and being in incredible shape, and this way better than having a lot of high liability items that just are going to make your life just miserable. So if you liked what I said today at all, please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, and click the link at the website if you're looking for one-on-one coaching or any of the other services I offer on my website. And I'll see you in the next one.